Well, I'm on to getting my display painted in the most efficient way possible, and it takes a lot of paint, looks like. And my hand cramps up about every 5 or 10 minutes, and I have to switch hands, and my left hand sucks at painting, so it looks like a third grader did it.
The new Yellow Jacket scale, part number 68864, has a 220-pound capacity, a large platform, and wireless Bluetooth communication via the WideJack app. With a 0.05% accuracy and 0.2 ounce resolution, service technicians can count on precision measurements every time.
I don't have to make this like Leonardo da Vinci or anything like that. Is that right? Rembrandt, maybe? Something, I don't know. Picasso. I'm more of a Picasso kind of guy because I like painting blocks. It doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, I got 16 different kinds of wood on here, but if they were a similar color, that'd be good. It's just the idea of this whole thing is that when people walk in and see what are going to be pliers basically on here, on these shelves, standing up like this, that they're able to look at them and be drawn in by a display that doesn't look as awful as the one I have in there now. Now, the one I have in there now isn't painted or anything, and as time goes by, I realize that that's not very good. I'm trying to do a better and better job, even though you guys may look at this and say, hey, well, this thing looks like warmed over doggy do. And you're probably right. One day I'll probably have something really nice in there. I hope. But for right now, I got to do whatever I can do on my own, which unfortunately is warmed over doggy do. And trying to get it all ready so I can take it out tomorrow night, because tomorrow night is a vendor night. Vendor nights, if you're at a vendor mall, are nights at this particular one that they allow you to come in after hours and work on your area. And there's 10 by 10 squares that people rent per month. And I started out in 10 by 10 last year, and now I'm up to a 20 by 10, 2 spaces, and it's really going well. Keep knocking little shavings of wood off of this thing. This plywood is like the worst, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. So I got a 20 by 10 space, and you know, I got it filled up, and things are starting to, you know, really pick up. I can see people coming back and buying things. If I put stuff online, sometimes they buy it the same day, especially if it's certain items. Like if I redo a old hand plane, like a Stanley Handyman hand plane or something like that, and I price it like it's supposed to be priced, then people will come in and buy it. After researching pricing, and I'll tell you how I do that in just a second. After researching pricing, I found that a lot of people overprice those because I guess they think, and here I am switching hands because it just, I don't know if I'm getting old. Well, that's part of it because I'm 45, but I get cramps in the hand playing guitar and using snips. My family actually called it Snip's hand, where you cut sheet metal for years and years, and your hand starts to cramp up. We call it Snip's hand. I'm sure some of you out there can identify with that. And it's like, hi, and you're just trying to do something, and your hand just won't let you do it any longer. It's just so, it just limits your motion. Even if you wanted to do it, you can't move your hand. And that kind of sucks, but you know, that's getting older, I guess. Painting is one of those redundant activities that causes you an unexpected dose of Snip's hand, I guess. And I end up looking, it looks all choppy and stuff after I start cramping up. You know, I'm like, like that. But as far as pricing, and pricing is very important. A lot of us know that. You know, we have a lot of different tradesmen out there. You know, I owned an HVAC company for a long, long time, and when I started it, I priced it too low. You know, I'd go in for a service call and be like, it's going to be $50 an hour. I'll get every job. Well, no, because first of all, no one knew I even existed, and $50 an hour is way too low. And nowadays, companies, you know, they're hundreds of bucks per hour. But I didn't know anything, and $50 was a lot of money to me, so I was like, hey, this is great. $50 an hour, man, I'll be like Donald Trump, bro. No, because I didn't know how to factor in the cost of my time, material, and how that all worked out. I had started in a very impromptu manner because of just the economy at the time. Is basically, you got to go out on your own now. We're not paying insurance no more, as far as payroll insurance and stuff like that. So the whole idea was that me, my brother, and my father would work together as separate entities. It just happened that after a while, I grew mine and became its own company, which was good for me, not as good for them, I guess. I mean, I don't think it really mattered all that much. Everybody grew and did different things, but I don't know if he imagined that I was going to grow or not, but I did. And I didn't know if I'd be able to do it or not, but I always liked the idea of building something. It's like what I'm doing right here now, both physically and in business. I'm trying to build stuff. But I was priced way too low. But when I come in here on these tools, and like I'll take one of these planes and you fix it up and it's like, it looks really good. You're like, wow, this is a nice antique hand plane. I know it's going to be worth at least $50-$60. Well, some of them are, and some of them are not. Some of them are worth way less than that. Like the last one I put in there was only worth about $25-$30. And it was nice, but it's just the model it was. It wasn't a high-end brand or high-end model. So I had to kind of suck it up that it wasn't worth as much. And I priced it accordingly. And because of that, it sold. Now maybe it sold so fast because I priced it a little bit too low. But what I do is on this stuff, like this vintage, whether they're tools or whatever, I research it. I go to eBay. And then I go through a list of the listings and I click on what was sold. And maybe not necessarily the ones that were bid on, because sometimes it'll be like one bid and it'll be way too low and it'll kind of throw off the whole system. But if you have a buy it now and you'll see like a hand plane sold for $20 plus $15 shipping. So that's $35 they paid for that. Of course, they don't pay shipping when they come to my store. So you get an idea of what it's supposed to be like. And I know my battery's running dead, so we'll catch up more on that later. But that's how I price things. I look at eBay, I look at the sold stuff, and I price it a little bit below that because people on eBay are looking directly for something, whereas in my store they're kind of walking in. More and more they may go directly there looking for something, but the first time they're just kind of wandering through. So the prices have to be attractive. But we'll talk about more of that later. Order supplies from the website that's made for the skilled trades. Find thousands of parts from hundreds of brands in just a couple clicks at SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com gives you 24/7 access to a huge selection of plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with fast delivery anywhere in the U.S. Need help with an order? Get industry-leading after-sales service from their friendly and knowledgeable customer support team and talk to a real person every time. SupplyHouse.com.